One of the things that I want to do on this adventure is to do some cooking videos, because although I've been a chef for 35 years and I've kind of like retired, I'm still really passionate about good food. So yeah, I thought whilst I've got a bit of free time, I'd love to be able to share with you some ideas. So tonight I'm going to make a pasta dish. It's going to be with chorizo, bacon, caramelized onions. Really nice, simple dish. You know, you could do this on the bank and you could get all your prep ready before you come away. Alright, so you put in a pan on a medium heat, put a good glug of olive oil, and then dice your chorizo up really nice and small. And you take half a red onion. This is just enough for one portion. Half a red onion, slice it down nice and thin, and you can add that at the same time as your chorizo. Now the idea is you want to cook this chorizo nice and slow with the onion so it caramelizes, and what that does is it releases all the fats and everything and the colours and the flavours of that chorizo into the oil, which is where we're going to get a nice deep rich flavour, all to do with that chorizo sausage. So cook that down nice and slowly. Want it nicely caramelised. So whilst that's caramelising, we're going to take just probably about a quarter of a red pepper. So I'll just use the top and the bottom because that's all I need for myself. And then we're just going to slice that again nice and thin, but we don't want to add that yet because we don't want to caramelise the peppers, we just want them softened. But we'll just get it ready for now. And to make it even healthier, I had an old, you can use any veg in this really. I had an old, well not old courgette, but half a courgette in my fridge, which I'm going to add to it as well. Just so whilst I am on the bank fishing, I'm getting a little bit of goodness. Although I've made a pact whilst I'm away for 3 months is not to touch anything with loads of sugar in. So normally when I come fishing and I sit on the bank, I'd have a few bags of Haribos. I think we all do it, don't we? A few bars of chocolates and crisps and loads of junk food. I'm staying away from it. For the 3 months, this is a chance for me to probably get myself a little bit healthier, I suppose. Not so much through exercise, although, as you know, fucking carp angling, I know it's relaxing, but it's also bloody hard work as well, especially if you're doing what I'm doing, like moving around from place to place and pumping up your boat. And you know, I got a 37 kilo dinghy that I got to lift up and down from my roof into my roof box, you know. So I am doing, I suppose, my fair share of exercise at the same time, but yeah, I also want to make sure that I eat healthy. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to do the odd cooked breakfast, you know, but I'm not going to be eating loads of crisps and sweets and chocolate and fizzy drinks and shit like that. Yeah, probably a bit of a health kick really, I suppose. 52 years of age and getting to that time in my life where I suppose I've got to start looking after myself a bit more. So we're going to wait for a little bit longer until this is cooked down, so you can see all that oil starting to change colour now. And those onions are softening up nicely. We want to cook it a little bit longer. And that's, like I said, it's releasing all that flavour, all the natural, well, all the oils and the fats and everything from the chorizo, and all that flavour's going into that olive oil. Don't worry about the amount of olive oil which is in it, because olive oil is good for you, isn't it? You know, I know the chorizo is not particularly that healthy, but again, you know, I'm making a compromise with that by putting loads of veg in it. So you can see now that that's really nicely, the onions are going nice and soft. The chorizo is almost going crispy, so it's giving it a different texture to the dish. Alright, we're going to put some garlic in this and some spices. So first of all, we'll another minute. So that's only on a medium heat. You don't want it too high, otherwise it'll burn before it caramelizes, and it'll burn before all those natural flavors come out of the chorizo. So that's cooking down really nice now. Nice, quick, easy dish this is. I've pre-cooked some pasta as well, using the same pan, so it's all one pan cooking. Pre-cook the pasta, and it doesn't matter if it goes cold, sat there on the side, because it's going to get tossed through the dish at the end. So I'm just going to turn that down a little bit now. So look at that, that's really nicely caramelising. And so now I'm going to add the courgette and the peppers, and we're going to sweat that down for just a couple of minutes, just to soften the veg. And whilst that's softening down, we can add some spices. So literally I've got some smoked paprika, which is what the treat sauce flavoured of, so about half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, bit of about a level teaspoonful of Cajun spice, and I'm cheating, I've got a tube of Tesco's garlic puree, only because there's only one reason for that, I can't be asked. So probably about a clove of garlic, maybe a clove and a bit of garlic in there. And already with those, you want to cook those spices out, you know, so they don't taste, they haven't got a raw grainy texture when you eat it. So just a minute or so, just cook that down all together. Right, so once that's cooking down, I want this to be really cheesy. So when I say healthy, I mean, it's not junk, is it? It's maybe not the healthiest, but it's yeah, I'm on holiday. So I've got some Gouda cheese here, and the Gouda cheese is amazing because it softens, but it doesn't melt. So it gives it a really nice, kind of every mouthful has got a nice kind of like soft, cheesy bite to it. And also as well, like I said, I want it really cheesy. I bought some really nice French cheese. I know Gouda's not French, but this is like I suppose it's like a Camarzola really. It's like a cross between a Brie and a Stilton. Don't need a lot. This is just, I'll add this at the very end just to give it a nice creamy consistency. So that'll go in at the very end, as will, well, all the cheese will go in at the very end. So we're just gonna just dice that up a bit. This cheese here will melt, make it nice and creamy, and this one here will soften but stay in nice whole chunks. So we're just gonna cut that up there. And also as well for the very end of it, I'm going to put on some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, because you can't have pasta without Parmesan cheese, because quite simply it's against the law and you'll get arrested. So you've got to have Parmesan on a pasta dish. So I'm just using penne pasta, which I've cooked. So that's cooking down really nice now. Everything's all cooking together, caramelising nicely together. Right, and also I want to put in now, I want a bit of a spice in there. I know I got the Cajun spice, but I like it a little bit hot. So I'm just going to put a little squidgen of Tabasco in there, sriracha. Just a little, probably about a tablespoon I should think, just to give it a bit of a kick. But it's a dish that, you know, you can have all your vegetables and everything all cut up, so you can have your courgettes and your peppers cut up in one little pot. You can have your chorizo and your onions cut up in another little pot. So you haven't got to do it on the bank, but you can take it with you. You can even have your pasta pre-cooked if you wanted to, because like I said, it's going to be tossed in this anyway, so it's going to warm it back through. So that's all nicely cooked now. So what we're going to do now is literally to that add the pasta, right? And then in there we're going to season it up with a bit of salt, a little bit of ground black pepper. All right, and we're just going to move that around a little bit. And also what we want to do is just add a little touch of water, not a lot, just enough to help bring all that flavour of all those cooking juices that are stuck to the bottom of the pan. So we just want to get all that tossed together. And what we'll do now is we're going to cook that down now for probably another 2 or 3 minutes. Get all that flavour off the bottom of the pan. And it'll end up going nice and thick and cook all around that pasta. But again, don't do it on too much of a high heat, because it will end up burning on the bottom of the pan. And keep it stirring as well. So just keep it moving around, get that pasta nice and hot. And then what you'll find is that as it starts to reduce, it starts thickening up, and that flavour become more and more intense. You can see now it's giving it a nice sheen where it's reducing. that, another minute. And that should be enough. Right, so get my olive oil out of the way. Leave all this shit out of the way. And that is done. So what we're going to do now, just before we serve it up, we're going to put in our creamy brie crossed with blue cheese. We're just going to melt that into it, and this is just going to give it another dimension. We've got spiciness, we've got creaminess. Got to say, it's going to be fucking gorgeous. We do the chefy thing now and toss it a little bit, get it all mixed together properly, like that. And that brie, you can see it's just melting down nicely into that pasta dish. Right, and then we'll turn it off, and we're going to add our Gouda. Again, nice and cheesy. Just going to leave that for literally just to sit there for a minute. Have a bit of a taste. Definitely needs a bit more salt for me. So a little bit more salt. And then what we're doing now really is just warming that Gouda cheese up. Look at that, gooey, spicy, cheesy. Look at that. That is a meal on the bank. £1 cooking, that is. So we're just going to put that in there. Oh. Oh. Don't you just love it? And there we go. We've got penne pasta, but you can use any pasta with chorizo, cheese, vegetables, salt and pepper, garlic, paprika, Cajun spice, and then we're just going to finish that off with plenty of Parmesan cheese. Remember, you've got to put this on, otherwise you get arrested. It's as simple as that. And there we go. Beautiful.